Laura here and welcome to this beginner's yoga workout. I hope you enjoy it. So we are going to get started. So sitting in a cross-legged position, make sure you're nice and comfy. Trying to sit up nice and tall, pulling your belly button in, shoulders back and down. And we're just going to do a few shoulder circles, lifting them all the way up to your ears, all the way back. So with this practice, everything should just feel nice and easy. So just taking the poses, we're going to change directions with the shoulders. Taking the poses and the various different movements. Don't worry about if it looks pretty, just make sure that it just feels good on your body. So we're just going to wake up your body, loosen and get some of those joints moving. Okay, and then we're going to do some half neck circles. So we're just going to take it down and round. And then when you're ready, you're going to do a full neck circle, but when you go backwards, make sure you're sort of supporting your neck and just relaxing it. So just taking it nice and steady, nice and easy, and then we're going to change direction. And then from here, sitting up nice and tall, reaching those arms out and really try and lengthen. Imagine you've got magnets that are repelling each other at the ends of your fingertips, and really lengthen, sitting up nice and tall. And then we're just going to do some shoulder circles, arm circles. And if you wanted a good arm workout, this is a really good exercise to work the arms. So we're not going to do this today because we're going to be focusing on yoga, but if you were doing like a body toning class, you could add in some wrist weights onto your arms and do some circles, changing directions. But all we're doing at the moment is just waking up the body. Okay, relaxing the arms, circle the shoulders, circle the neck, just give everything a bit of a shake. And then arms up, we're going to breathe in, and then bending at the elbows, breathing out, and then breathing in, bending at the elbows, relaxing, breathing in, bending at the elbows, one more time, breathing in, bending at the elbows. Okay, excellent. So we are now going to go onto all fours into our tabletop pose. And make sure you're thinking about drawing that belly button in, pulling it in, and so your lower back is nice and supported. So drawing that belly button in, we're going to breathe in and really lengthen first, and then looking up to the ceiling, pulling that chest away from your hips, and then breathing out, curling one vertebrae at a time. And again, breathing in, and then breathing out. Okay, back to neutral spine. You're going to take your left foot back, right hand forwards. Option to stay here on the floor and just engage the core, feel that core working. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can either lift one hand or one foot off, or what we're going to do is lift both off the floor. Really thinking about lengthening through the fingertips and lengthening through those toes and reaching far apart. And then hand and foot comes back to the floor. And we're going to take the other one. So the other leg goes back this time. So your right leg, left arm, and then lifting up, really reaching. And then hand and foot back to the floor. We're going to sit back into child's pose. So hands out, bum to your ankles, and just hold it here. And if at any point in your practice any of the poses get a bit challenging, then feel free to come back into this pose at any point. So from here, you're going to tuck your toes under, and we're going to go into downward dog. We're going to start with bent knees, pushing through those arms, ears in line with your arms, trying to get your chest down to the floor, and really lengthening those hips up to the ceiling. And then when you're ready, straightening the legs, trying to get the heels to the floor. And just remembering to take it to a position that's comfortable for you, don't overdo it. And we're going to bend one leg, we're going to bend the other leg, and again, and again. And then from here, rolling through your body, we're going to come into a plank. And we're just going to hold this. If this gets too much, then feel free to put your knees onto the floor. Otherwise, hold it here, pulling that belly button in. And then we're going to lift through the hips, come back to downward dog. And then we're going to roll through the body, back into plank. Lift through the hips, back into downward dog. And again, roll through the body, hold plank, lift through the hips, back to downward dog. One more time and hold it in plank, roll through the body, into plank. And you're going to put your right leg onto the floor, and then we're going to turn, adjust the left leg a little bit, and lift that left arm up. So we're in a half side pose. If it feels okay on your neck, look up to the ceiling, and we're just going to hold this. Going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand back onto the floor, back into plank. We're going to go to the other side. So left foot down, or knee down, and then turn and open up onto the other side. And we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand back to the floor, back into a plank. Knees to the floor. Down, chest down to the floor, into a half baby cobra. And then back up into downward dog. Bending your knees, looking forwards, and then walking your feet towards your hands. We're going to come down, knees together, fingers touching the floor, reaching up into chair. Feel those legs warming up and beginning to burn. And coming down to the floor into a forward fold. Remember, option to bend your knees. So this shouldn't pinch or pull in your lower back. Make sure you're pulling your abs in and bend those knees if you need to. Flat back, so really lengthening, really reaching. Think about almost arching if you need to. Forward fold. Breathing in. And then breathing out. We're just going to come to mountain pose. Oops, I'm losing balance already. So we're going to come to mountain pose. Okay, so feet hip width apart. You are going to grab your left hand with your right hand. So grab the wrist, and you're going to pull it across, and then you're just gently going to drop that ear to the shoulder. And then you're going to look up to the ceiling if that feels okay in your neck. It's a really nice neck stretch. Remember, don't overdo it. Just take it to where it feels comfortable. And then when you're ready, look into the floor and come back to centre. Same thing on the other side. So grabbing that wrist first, dropping that ear to the shoulder. So make sure you think about your ear lower into your shoulder rather than your shoulder coming to your ear. And then looking, eyes up to ceiling. So just a slight adjustment. And then rolling down. Shaking that out. Okay, so feet a little bit wider. And we're going to bring the arms up, so breathing in. We're going to drop one arm and then reach out, reaching up. And then over to the side. And if it feels okay on your neck, looking into the eye of your elbow. Really think about reaching over, but think about your hip going in the other direction. Coming up, same thing on the other side. Up and over. So getting a nice side stretch. Back together. Same thing, but feet a little bit closer together this time. So breathing in. Drop that right hand, reaching up and over. Coming up, drop the left hand, up and over. Coming together. Okay, next one, feet together. Fingertips, fingers interlinked. And we're going to come up to halfway and kind of think about drawing those shoulders back. And then we're going to try and go all the way up, but make sure you're keeping this together. So what I don't want to see is this. Yeah, I'm over exaggerating, but think about pulling this together. So you might not get all the way up, I probably won't. So roll those shoulders back. When you come to halfway, think about retracting those shoulders, drawing them back in, and then just take it gently, coming up and up. And just to where you can stay in that pose without having to kind of stick your chest out and arching in the lower back. So for me, this is a really hard pose. Okay, coming down. So this one I'm going to go to the side. We are going to start with our feet together, and you're going to take a step back and square those hips up. So my front foot is facing forwards, the other one's at a bit of an angle. Weight is equal on both feet. My hips are square. I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to pull and engage my abs, and I'm going to dive down. And I'm going to feel a nice stretch in my hamstrings. I'm still going to focus on keeping those hips square. And then I'm going to bring my feet together. We're going to do a flat back. We're going to do a forward fold. Breathing in, coming around into mountain pose. We're going to step the other leg back this time. So step it back, front leg is forwards, other one is at an angle, hips are square. And we're going to breathe in and then coming down. And I'm thinking about trying to get my nose towards my toes and my chest towards my knee. I'm going to make sure I'm not straining and hurting my neck. Okay, feet together. From here, knees stay together. Try and get your fingers to touch the floor. Engage those abs. And we're going to come up into chair. Stand up into mountain pose. Okay, breathing in. Diving down. Flat back. Forward fold. Hands on the floor. Stepping back to plank. Knees to the floor. Down to the floor. Into cobra. Or all the way through into up dog. Tuck those toes under. Coming up into downward dog. You're going to lift your right foot up in the air. Bring it forwards. Nose towards your knees. Feel that core beginning to engage and work. And then you're going to step that foot forwards. Knee stays behind your big toe. Foot, other leg stays straight. Heel stays off the floor. So you may wish to stay here or here with your fingertips, or you're going to come all the way up into our crescent pose. And then from here, you can either stay here holding, or we're just going to do some windmills, some arm circles with our arms. So we're going to start coming forwards. Might feel a bit strange, might look a little bit weird, but that's fine. It's all about waking up your body, getting some mobility back. And take it up into crescent. From here, you're going to put the foot down onto the floor, and you're going to turn into our warrior two, looking along those fingers, lengthening the arms, trying to sink. And we're going to come up, straightening that leg, breathing in, and we're going to go down, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And this time you're going to straighten the leg, and you're going to reach forwards, reach, let that hip go to the side, and you're going to come into triangle. Now really make sure you think about your chest being up. Try and look up to the ceiling if you can. If you need to come further up to keep your chest staying up rather than coming forwards, then do so. So just take it to where is comfortable. Think about trying to create some length in that side, turning up to the ceiling, lengthening your legs, space between your hands. And if you want to, you can go into extended. And then you're going to come up, straight legs, turn the feet forward, drop those arms if you need to, rest, coming back up, and you're going to breathe in, breathing out, and coming down to the floor. Let that neck relax. Coming up into your fingertips, lengthening, folding. Hands on your hips, leading with chest, breathing in, coming up, breathing out. Okay, we're going to take it to the other side, so turning around into Warrior Two. Looking along that front arm, make sure this leg is staying, turn out. Lengthening those arms, relaxing, and imagine you sort of resting those arms onto a tabletop. And then breathing in, breathing out, up and down. One more time, up and down. Straightening that leg, you're going to reach. Going to come down into a triangle. You might find one side feels a bit tighter than the other, and that's fine. You can take it into extended if you want. Coming up, relaxing back into Warrior Two. Now we're going to face the other side, and we're going to go into our crescent. Whoops, losing balance. So options: stay here or come all the way up. So into our crescent, and we're going to go into our arm circles. And then arm circles the other way. Okay, and then hands to the floor. Foot goes back into our plank. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees onto the floor, down to the floor, into cobra or up dog, whatever feels comfy and good for you. Toes under, pushing up into a downward dog. And we're just going to hold it for a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, bend your legs, looking forwards, walk your feet in, back into a forward fold. We're going to extend, we're going to forward fold, and then breathing in, coming up into mountain pose, coming down. Okay, let's do that again. So hands down, palms forwards, breathing in. And if you want, you can reach up and do a gentle lift backwards. We're going to dive down, forward fold, sorry, flat back, forward fold, stepping back, down to the floor, coming up, downward dog. This time, bend your knees and put your knees onto the floor. We're going to go back in to cat and cow. So lengthen, first breathing in, curling up, breathing in, curling up. Okay, so the next one, take this to where it feels comfortable. Be careful with this one and don't overdo it. So you're going to start in kneeling, and you're going to put the palms of your hands into your lower back, and you're just going to lift up, arch, and get a little arch. Now you may wish just to stay here. If you want to do to take this further, you can put one hand onto your ankle, the other one, and just open up. So this is our camel pose. not the easiest of poses. Make sure you sort of keep your eyes looking up, so you keep in control of your neck. And then coming up when you're ready. Okay, next one. So we're going to take this sitting on the floor, and we're just going to grab our knees and do some little rocks, coming forwards and coming up. It should feel quite nice on your back, and it complements the move that we've just done. Okay, so going back, staying on the back, this time opening your legs a little bit further, and we're just going to do some hip circles. So make some circles with your knees. Going one way to start with, and now we're going to reverse it. And then we're going to go into happy baby. So soles of your feet up to the ceiling, grabbing the outside of your feet, and then think about bringing your knees down towards your, your armpits really. And if you want, you can sort of move around in this pose. Take one leg to one side, one to the other side, and just sort of feel comfy. And then when you're ready, feet back to the floor. And then from here, we're going to go into a bridge. So heels close to your bum, abs pulled in, and we're just going to push through our heels and lift our hips up to the ceiling as far as we can go. And then coming down, and we're going to go again, up. This time you can clasp your hands and push through with your arms. Coming down. This time as we go up, we're going to breathe in, take our arms overhead, and then come down, bring your arms down to the floor. One more time, really pushing through those heels. And then coming down. And then coming up to sitting. We're going to bring our legs forwards, and you might want to pull your sort of butt cheeks back a little bit so you're sitting up nice and tall. And we are just going to hold it here. So imagine someone's pulling you through the crown of your head, sitting up nice and tall, and we're just going to sit here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to hinge forwards to where's comfortable. So for some people it might be here, some might be able to go further, some might be even able to go even further. Again, really make sure you're pulling your abs in, so you're supporting your lower back. You shouldn't be feeling any pain or pulling in your lower back. If you are, come out of the pose or readjust it, don't go as deep. And we're just going to stay here. Okay, last 2 poses. We are going to lie down. We're going to put one foot on top of the other knee. In actual fact, we're going to try a different one because I can feel my knee playing up. So if you don't like this pose, this is another nice one that you're going to cross your legs, and then you can just bring them in. Okay, and then we're going to go to the other side. So one knee on top of the others, and then pulling them in, grabbing by your ankles, so you should feel a pull sort of in the outside of your glutes. Okay, then last stretch, you're going to bring one knee in, extend the other leg, so the same arm as the bent knee extends, and you're going to look along that arm as you let that knee roll across to the other side, and you're going to get a gentle spinal twist. And then we're going to come out of that and go to the other side, so bring the other knee in towards your chest. So same arm as the leg that is bent, extends, and you're going to look along those fingertips and let that knee roll to the other side. And then coming back to the middle, bending those knees in, bring your forehead in towards your knees, give them a little hug and a squeeze, and then we're going to finish in Savasana in our corpse pose. So extend those legs if that feels comfy, extend the arms, palms up to the ceiling, and close your eyes. And you're just going to focus on breathing in and breathing out. And in your own time, I want you to work from your toes all the way up to your head, all the way down to your fingertips, and just check each body part and check that it's switched off, that it's relaxed, and that it's melting into the floor. And I want you to think about your face. I want you to relax your jaw, get rid of that tension, relax your forehead, relax your eyes. Quite often we forget about all the tension that is building up into our face. So move that jaw if you need to, relax your forehead. Put a smile on your face as well if you want. So you can stay in here as long as you want. When you are ready, you're going to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, get some movement back in. Walk and bring your heels to your bum. Staying in a curled up position. Going to roll over to the side, open your eyes and come up to sitting. And we're just going to take it back into a cross-legged position, shoulders back and down, sitting up nice and tall. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that workout. If you did, then feel free to like, comment and share. Get your friends and family doing the workouts with you too. Hope you enjoyed it. Lots more workouts coming soon, so keep your eyes out for them, and I will see you soon. Have a great day, great evening, whatever you are up to. Bye bye.